Episode 3.
Episode 3.
Woo!
3.
We're going to do something a little differently this time. We figured out that if we just spill our whole life story in the first 2 months, then there won't be anything left to talk about.
Yeah, no.
So we're going to do something a little bit fun.
Yeah.
I don't know how fun this is going to be, but it should be fun. We're going to do Reddit story reactions.
Yeah.
So we have 4 stories. We have not read them yet.
No.
We've
the titles.
basically read the titles and made sure that they had a lot of upvotes, and then that's pretty much how we determined.
That's our criteria.
Yeah. So we're gonna go with it. They are from these specific ones are from the subreddits. Am I the jerk and am I the asshole? So okay, I'll start. So the first thing that I noticed about this post is the person who posted this has a badge. And the badge is top 1% poster. So this person is in the top 1% of the posters on Am I the Jerk? So that may already tell us our answer.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay, the title is Am I the Jerk for refusing to help my new boss after I was the one who trained her for 3 months?
Oh.
Sorry, trained her 3 months ago. Not for 3 months.
Oh. Okay. I'm already on the side with them.
Yeah. I'm 27 female, honestly numb right now.
Oh.
I have been with my company for 5 years. I started as an intern and worked my way up. I know every single client, every weird software glitch, and I'm the person everyone comes to when things go wrong. I've stayed late, worked through holidays, and basically made this job my entire life. 3 months ago, my manager, male, hired a new girl. Let's call her the new girl. She's nice enough, but she has 0 experience in our specific field. My manager literally told her, hey, can you show her... Sorry. My manager literally told me, hey, can you show her the ropes? You're the best we have, and I want her learning from you. So I did. I spent hours every day teaching her everything I know. I even gave her my personal cheat sheets for our filing system. I thought I was being a good team player and that my manager was noticing my leadership. Well, yesterday we had a big announcement meeting. I thought, this is it. There's been a senior lead position open for a few months, and I've been doing all the work for that role anyways. My boss stands up and announces that the promotion is going to the new girl. I was stunned. She has not even finished her probation period yet. My boss's reason? He said she had fresh energy and natural leadership vibes. We're going off vibes.
Oh, God.
Today, the new girl came to my desk because she couldn't figure out how to run the end of the month reports, something I've taught her 3 times already. I just looked at her and said, since you're the senior lead now, I'm sure you can figure that out. It's above my pay grade.
Oh, hell yeah.
She looked like she was going to cry, and she went to our boss. Now my boss is calling me unprofessional and petty, and some of my coworkers are saying I'm making the office vibe toxic because I won't help her anymore. I feel like I'm being punished for being good at my job. I'm done doing 2 jobs and getting paid for 1. Am I the jerk for completely checking out and refusing to help the person who took my promotion?
It's
It's a little funny because I've been both people.
I feel like I'm... Oh, God, see, I can't... I know people are going to be watching this for my work, but I feel...
It's fine. If they are watching, they already know.
I feel like I'm in... Like, nobody's taken my spot.
No.
Yet.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, nobody can, but they can.
Well, don't say that.
Can.
Yeah, don't say that because everyone's replaceable.
Everybody is replaceable. I resonate with this so much.
Yeah.
Like, literally everything that girl said. And it's so funny because I literally just had a conversation with my boss, my manager, after work on Friday because I went back Thursday and Friday. Like, I'm just going to go there, do my work. I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm not going to gossip. I'm not going to, like, you know,
you're just gonna
get
head
into
down
the... Yeah, I'm just going to do my shit.
You just got done at the emergency room.
Yeah.
You were just at the emergency room and you're like, I don't want to be scolded, so let me just go in, put my head down, do my work, and not do anything.
I didn't, like, tell everybody, oh, you know, I'm going to lunch. I'll see you in an hour. I just went to lunch, came back. If I left at the end of the day and people were doing stuff, I didn't wait around to say bye. I just left. And you know, I did it kind of as an experiment to see, does anybody actually, like, miss or realize what I do here.
Whoa.
And I immediately started noticing that, like, people were acting a little different. And I think it made a difference in, like, the vibe.
The culture.
Yeah. I was playing my music super low, so, like, other people couldn't hear it. Like, I wasn't being the vibe. Like, because I'm the vibe master of there, right? I play the music, you know, that people listen to all day. And, like, I change it with the mood, right? And sometimes they play their own music, and I'll, like, put my music down because they're obviously not feeling the same vibe, which is, like, totally fine. But, yeah, so I did this as an experiment, and I just, like, moved quietly. I wasn't, like, super overreacting to, like, things people would say. I was, you know, just doing my job.
Yeah. Blah,
blah, blah. So I did those for those 2 days. I just come back from the ER because I was having, you know, gut problems. And I was taking it easy. And Friday came around. I was got super busy at the end of the day. I ended up having to stay a little late. And I was trying to, like, close everything out and get these agreements done for the rentals for over the weekend that people were picking up. And my boss called me, my manager calls me, and she was like, hey, like, what time are you leaving today? And I was like, well, I was supposed to be off. I'm just trying to get out of here. She's like, okay, well, just, like, come see me before you leave. And so in my mind, I'm like,
what day? Friday?
Friday. So I'm like, and you know, everybody always saves the write-ups and shit to the end of the day on a Friday so that people can't get mad and in their feelings all the day throughout work. So I was like, okay.
And I'm already skeptical because
I know what's happening.
I know how corporate businesses work.
And Aaron's like, oh, do you think you were getting fired? And I was like, no. And I was like, I didn't think I was getting fired. I thought I was getting another write-up for something. Or talking to about my attendance or some shit, you know. And so I finished all my work. I closed out my screens. I get my stuff ready to go. And then I go over to her. I clock out, I'm pretty sure.
Were you, like, nervous, anxious the whole time?
I started getting that gut feeling in my thing. But I know if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, were you also like, fuck this, I don't care?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting to the... We'll get to that. And so I go into her office, and I'm like, okay, like, you wanted to see me? Like, she's like, are you leaving right now? I was like, yeah, I was getting ready to leave.
She's confirming to make sure you're on your way out the door.
And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, well, I'll walk out with you. I was like, oh. That's weird. So, not a work thing. Okay. So she gets her stuff. We both start walking out. And we both just walk up the stairs and...
In silence?
Just a little bit. Like, just so we're just, like, walking out and getting, you know, out of earshot. I can tell she didn't want to, like, have people, like...
Around.
In the conversation. And she looks over to me and she was like, so what's wrong? And I said, what are you talking about? I said, nothing's wrong. And I just, like, look forward. And I think I put my sunglasses on. And then...
And to clarify, this is the manager who wrote you up 4 days prior to this?
She didn't write... Well, yes, she wrote me up, but... I mean...
Don't sugarcoat it. She wrote you up.
It was I don't think it was necessarily a write-up from her. I think it was a write-up from HR. Because of... I didn't follow... follow protocols.
HR doesn't know until someone tells them and complains to them. That's how that works.
They found out because she was looking for a car. I was in that car, and I didn't follow the procedures that I was supposed to follow. So... I mean, technically, it was a mistake.
Getting written up for one simple mistake.
Regardless, I got written up, and that's that. So we were walking out, and she said, and I don't hold that against her. I don't.
I don't know.
I know. It's just the relationship.
With my experience,
she's been like a mom to me, though, in a way of being there, and like a role model in a sense. For like most of the time that I've been there, so it's
you do this, right?
I do.
You do this. You make excuses for people and situations and companies that
I feel like her hands are tied with a lot of.
As someone who's previously been your manager, their hands are not as tight as you think they are.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, yeah. So we're outside, and she said, Lauryn, I have known you for 3.5 years now. I know when something's wrong. What's going on? Don't give me that I just look straight ahead. And I turn towards her and I'm like, it's tough, dude. It's like, it's tough coming in. I don't feel it anymore. I don't feel respected. I feel like in the last 3.5 years, I should have gotten some type of recognition, and I haven't. And it's hard. I was like, and we kept walking a little bit, and I was like, I drive 45 minutes every day. Like, I have put a lot into this job. I drove an hour when I lived in Auburn,
God, yeah.
and I continue to come because, I liked where I work. I liked the people. I liked the atmosphere. But I don't feel it anymore. I feel like anytime that I mention, the possibility of me, moving up or, taking on a different job, it just gets dismissed because the company doesn't have money or it's not the right time. And yeah, we can hire, then I see like the sales department consistently hiring new people, and like I get we're two different departments, but it's like above all we're a dealership, and it's like I'm getting all these things added on to my daily tasks, and yeah, I'm taking them on.
You're not
because it's in hope of getting compensated and showing that like I can do it, and I'm trying to prove myself.
That's backwards.
And nothing ever comes of it. We've talked about, me getting promoted to like head of the back counter multiple times, and I do everything except for payroll. And I told her that I'm like, we've talked about it multiple times, and it's like that you guys are going to turn it over to me, but like I already do it.
Yeah.
I've gotten like 3 different tasks added on to my my routine this year.
Then they should be paying you extra for each of those tasks.
Yeah, like in my thing on like my iSolved, my like
your job description.
my job description, it says cashier receptionist.
Now let me tell you,
it doesn't even say what I actually do.
For all of those corporate employers and managers, a job description is a legal document. Doesn't mean that they have to follow everything to a T and never ever say you can't do extra work, because usually in it says job duties is assigned. But there is a level of reasonability, and you are far past that level of reasonability, in my opinion.
I've gotten 1 pay increase,
which is crazy because you've been there for 3 years.
Since officially starting with the company, because I was started as the interim where they hire a company right.
But that doesn't even count then, because that was just bringing you on as a permanent employee.
Yes.
You haven't gotten cost of living raises.
No.
Yet you're doing all this extra work, just like this girl in the Reddit post, doing all this extra work, getting no recognition,
training new
no
people,
compensation.
I completely helped everybody train on this new system while still learning it.
That should have been a project-based, bonus or something like that.
I wish I had that thought of like a project-based bonus. I should have fucking said something like that.
Like, so you're working backwards.
I know.
Right? You don't do the work in hopes of a raise, because then all they see is that you're going to do the work at the rate you're getting, right?
Yeah.
That's not strategic. You need to be, it's like.
But then they're just going to find somebody else to do it. And then
they won't. It's cheaper to retain an employee and give them a raise rather than hire a new employee to come in and learn everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
You also have to fight for yourself. And instead you make excuses for the people who are in leadership, and they can make their own excuses. You don't have to you're not in the pay grade to make excuses for these people. You have to stick up for yourself, and you know your value. You know what you do now versus what you did 3 years ago, yet you get paid the same amount. And that alone should be reason for an increase. Not to mention, how were you treated when your uncle died?
Yeah.
How were you treated when you went through serious health issues? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are all things that you have to consider when it comes to like evaluating your employer and your timeline with them. And like, I know you've said it to me before, like, did I just waste 3.5 years? Like, no, you didn't waste it because you've learned a lot. But if you stayed there another 3.5 years, will those years be wasted? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I've had the realization. Now what am I going to do with the realization?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So if you've hit your ceiling, then you need to start thinking about, how else can I grow? And if it's not in the same position you're in, it's not in the same position you're in. And if you truly know that it's not possible, then you have to start looking at the bigger picture of your life.
I mean, if they gave me a raise, I'd be fine with sticking with my job. I like what I do. I can do what I do easily. You know, I do it with even when I miss a couple days and I'm back behind, I get that shit done.
And I know, and you liked it.
And it's fun because it's easy for me.
Really liked it. Yeah.
It's easy. I'm very personable. I'm a seller. I'm a gabber just like my dad. And it comes natural for me. I take that leading role on, very easily. I train people very easily. I learn quickly, and I'm able to process that and then turn it into teaching it to somebody, which I should probably just become a fucking teacher, honestly.
Then you have to deal with kids.
And then I have to deal with kids.
Yeah.
But
I think in relation to this person.
Oh yeah, we need to get back to that.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, in relation to this person, I feel like you've definitely, obviously, you're dealing with the exact same situation. The only difference is you don't have someone creeping up on your job.
No, but that's also why I started being a little quieter this last couple days.
Your job is a little different too. Like you like made achievements in that role, like the amount of cars you've rented out and things like that. Yeah, maybe it's compared to previous years, and let's just say this, before COVID everything was better, so employers need to stop comparing now to before COVID because it's a different world.
It is.
I just left a role where I had 90 employees, 7 general managers. It was a 6-figure role.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that I learned in that role is that regular non-exempt employees don't know any of their rights.
No.
And they don't.
Employees
speak up for
try
themselves.
hard to make sure they don't, honestly.
Sorry. No, they do. It is. I'll say this. In California, as an employer, it's very tough. I've been both now. And so I see it. And that's, I think, what makes me a good leader is recognizing those things. But
you built your way up.
I tell you all the time.
I know. And I think that's what's been moving my brain.
Okay,
I think that's
good.
why I'm starting to not feel it, because I'm having the realization every day when I go in that I'm not making a difference.
You're not
as hard as I try.
Is it truly meaningful to you?
It's not, and it used to be because I thought it meant something.
Yeah.
But when you have your manager telling you that the program that you are in charge of doesn't matter and it doesn't bring any
your manager tells
revenue
you that it
to the
doesn't
dealership,
matter?
Essentially.
That's sad.
Yeah, and it sucked.
I think
that's where it started everything, because it's like, what am I? Why does any of this fucking matter then? I'm just here to literally say yes or no if we have enough cars for that day, when you can literally look at a system. And I'm probably talking my way out of my job right now. But
no, I think it's just being truthful. I have leadership advice for all of the leaders listening to this, because
this is taking a lot for me to say all this too,
I
because of
know.
the potential of them. Well, with the reality of them probably seeing it.
Well, yeah, that's
everybody
fine.
at my work has.
Well, then I have some leadership advice for them, or whoever is watching this, or if you are aspiring to be a leader in your role, which is something you are.
Yeah.
You cannot motivate or empower your employees or the people around you or your peers if you devalue the work that they do. Period. If somebody is telling you your role doesn't bring in any revenue, then why the hell am I here? You don't value me?
Yeah.
So maybe it's true, right? Maybe it's true your role doesn't bring in revenue, right? But let's not focus on what it doesn't bring in, and let's focus on what it does do. It helps people. You put people back into vehicles when they don't have one. I have family events going on. I have 2 kids I don't, but I have, say I'm a mom.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids, 4 kids to lug around and get to soccer practice and get to and from school, and I have to get to work the next day.
And I need an SUV, and you only have 2 in your fleet, but you have to make it work and them get into a big enough car.
And so there is truthfully, and that's, instead of telling you don't bring in money, that's what I would have told you.
Yeah.
It would have caused you to be more motivated to continue doing a good job and start to think of your clients and your customers as real humans and real people, regardless of the money that comes in from it.
Yeah.
And that motivates you, and that makes you want to stay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So employers, like this girl's employer on Reddit, I mean, that sometimes leaders don't make good decisions. Just because you are a manager, that does not make you a leader.
You know, I have tried to do advertising. I've tried to bring things to the table to get us more, you know, flow in. But it's just every time I bring something up, it's like, oh, it's not really going to do much.
Yeah. And you reached out to me. It doesn't do anything. Even.
Yeah.
You even reached out to me and were like, hey, boss, my best friend of 17 years owns a marketing agency. Like, you know, and I've got a guy that's scaling from $6 million last year to $11 million this year. Mm-hmm. Having somebody willing to step forward in terms of advertising and marketing and ideas and creativity, that is so undervalued in corporate, because they'll hire somebody, right? They'll hire a graphic designer. They'll hire people off Fiverr. They'll hire, I mean, you know, they'll hire people in different countries because they're cheaper. But they get creatives with misspelled words. They get stuff that makes no sense.
Stuff that doesn't look...
it doesn't look good.
He literally made pamphlets for our new detailing thing, and I went to him like, if you, like, I could make this.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to pay somebody. I can make this for you and have it for you in a fucking day. Like, I make all of my own posters. I make all of my own signs.
I'm telling you.
I put them around the dealership. I don't get anything.
Wow. That's incredible. So... Leadership,
like crazy.
Leadership lesson number 2 that comes to mind because of that is get to know your employees. Because if they're good at something, chances are they like it.
And I can do all that while doing my fucking job.
I think the difference between you and this girl on Reddit is that you're going to probably continue to do those things. This girl...
Well, I've stopped. I stopped on Friday and I got asked what's wrong.
They got noticed.
And she said,
"Hey, you stopped going above and beyond based off what you're paid. Why?
You stopped being bubbly and you weren't, you know, feeling...
You started just doing what was on your job description. How come?" I mean, anyways. So
she basically told me to write a list of what I do and we'll talk about it this week. Everything that I do.
Write the damn list. Write the damn list. And I'll tell you this, what a lot of employers and leaders and managers don't realize is when somebody is asking for a raise, they get annoyed, right?
Yeah.
I come to you for a raise. Why are you getting annoyed at me? I'm coming to you for a raise. What you should be recognizing as a leader with business acumen, you should be recognizing that I want to stay at this job. And I want to do a good job.
I want to learn more. I want to teach.
I want to earn my pay. I've already earned my
damn pay.
I want to keep doing it. Yeah. That's what
I want to do this for you. Right. I want to help you succeed.
That's what a true leader recognizes.
But instead, they see it like, oh, they just want more money. They're still going to do what they're doing even if we don't give them a raise. And if they leave, then no big deal.
That's where false leadership lies.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Okay. Anyways.
So back to the story.
Yeah, you know, everybody pretty much says, for the most part, not the jerk. Yeah. And in this case, you wouldn't be either. And I'm not just saying this as your friend, right? Because I've been on both sides. I understand why they do why they have this strategic ambiguity and why they try to, you know, hold their cards close to their to their bodies, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're not recognizing your people, I mean, they're lucky you've been there this long. If you're not recognizing and promoting and sharing transformational leadership amongst your teams, those people are going to get really, really good at what they do and then leave.
The number one thing my dad has taught me is to make yourself valuable. Make yourself so valuable to the point if you leave, they notice your absence.
There's a line, though.
Yeah, and I think
Don't
that
make
I've always...
so valuable and not get compensated for it.
And that's the spot I'm in.
Yeah. And I'll say this, you're not the only one. That's a spot, probably 80% of employees across the United States are in that position, you know?
I mean, it's like we talked about that one time where you have the fork in the road, right? And you can keep going in the circle, you can keep going in the circle.
Roundabout.
Or you can break it, you get uncomfortable, and you move on.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, I've been going in the same circle for, 3.5 years, and maybe it's the fork.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's it doesn't mean you're out the door, right? It means
no.
You guys have to collaboratively work together to find some common ground on who am I for this business and what am I worth
and
for
what's
this
my
business
future
and what's my future, right?
Yeah, like I drive again 45 minutes. I spend about $150 a week, or sorry, $120 a week on gas.
That's insane.
And I get
gas
that there's
is like $7 a gallon right now in California.
For real.
Well, anyways, what's the moral of that story then?
Moral of that story: are you gonna keep going around in the circle, or are you gonna break the chain?
I have learned that. Oh, go ahead.
I think I need to break the chain.
I think you need to break the chain. I broke the chain.
You did break the chain.
I broke the chain. I think I've been saying this. I've been saying this to everybody. 2026 is the year of the horse. It means take risks, easy success when you do.
Yeah.
Energy and growth.
And I have recently been getting. I'm very into numerology, and I'm like heavily spiritual, and I have been seeing a lot of signals that like change is coming, like for the better.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's keeping me positive and level-headed, and that's why I haven't exploded. I've just kind of gone silent.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
Even in friendships and in work, like when something has I shut down.
It's giving you off energy.
Yeah, and I can't fake it anymore.
Yeah. And you shouldn't be. Okay, so the year of the horse occurs every 12 years.
Oh.
But 2026 is the year of the fire horse. And that's every 60 years.
Oh, it was 60. Okay.
So it's a very rare occurrence. Both,
Yeah.
So I think people need to start taking that seriously.
I have in the back of my mind, and I think this is finally giving me the push that I need. Like, I want to start my own businesses. I have multiple ideas of what to do, and I just need to fucking do it.
You need to do it, and I'm here to help.
I know, and I'm so thankful for that, because, like, honestly, I would not be able to get as much as I've gotten done even this year,
You have
thinking wise.
You have planned 3 huge events this year. 2 weddings and a party. Yeah.
And they all went off without a hitch.
Yep. Yeah. So that's not for no reason.
That's true.
Yeah. And I think the same thing as I was saying, towards employers and leaders recognizing their people's talents. You need to do that for your own self too. And
I mean,
focus in on it.
I think I've said it here before, is that I have a very hard time following my own advice.
Hey, you do. Like, you're so good at giving advice.
I'm so
bad
good.
At following
it's like a crippling anxiety of myself. Like, I am so good at giving advice, like to other people. It's like scary, like I can read the fucking future damn near. But like myself,
yep, always
out
always
the fucking door.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you this much. At the beginning of this year, you told me something. You told me, because what was I doing? I was,
you were talking down like you weren't going to get.
I was talking about something that I can't talk about on here. But,
like the potential wasn't going to be there. Like, it's there, but it's a very slim chance.
Oh, but guess what? The potential is there, and it's coming. So,
I told you to watch your wording.
Yeah, you were right. You told me to manifest, and I did, and it happened literally within weeks.
Speak it into existence.
And I did the same thing with, and I think that with my recent job, I think what people forget as just individuals is we forget to follow our intuition, or we fight it.
Ready for another one. Okay. So, am I the jerk for ending my engagement after my fiance said she never got to have her hoe phase? You poor thing.
Aww.
That you never got to have your hoe phase.
Aww.
I was with my ex for 7 years. We started dating in middle school and stayed together through high school and after. Oh.
Wow.
Oh. We were engaged and planning a wedding. I thought we were solid. Looking back now, I realize I missed a lot of red flags. She would yell at me to the point where her own parents could hear it from the other rooms. Her mom actually warned her multiple times that if she didn't change, I would leave. She slowly cut me off from friends and family over the years, and I didn't even notice until after we split and people started apologizing for ghosting me. Damn. When we hit our early 20s, her attitude completely flipped. She went from sweet to just mean. She would threaten to break up, then apologize 5 minutes later. She would pull me aside at gatherings to call me an embarrassment. Oh.
Poor kid.
Damn. She complained constantly that things were boring in the bedroom. Oh.
Oh.
Then came the fight that ended it. We were arguing about something stupid, and she said she felt like she would have taken a break years ago because she never got to go through her hoe phase in high school.
High school?
I just stood there. Well, you have to remember they're just getting in their 20s. So
hoe phase isn't in high school. It's after high school.
Exactly. But she's apparently thinking it was in high school.
Oh, I see.
Some girls have their hoe phase in high school.
Oh, yeah, I knew some.
Yeah. Me and you both, girl. I just stood there. She threw her engagement ring at me, then apologized. I told her I needed time to cool off before work. Wow. While I was at work, she went to some guy's house I had never heard of and texted me about it. Not even trying to hide it. The audacity, girl. After another argument where she called me an embarrassment again, I decided I was done. I went home while she was at work and moved all my stuff to my grandma's place. Her mom saw me while I was out and started crying when I told her I was leaving. She said she knew it was coming and that I had nothing to apologize for. Yep.
Wow.
Later that day, my ex called me sobbing. Then her dad got on the phone and told her to stop. That's crazy. I told her it was over, and she just said, "Okay, I'm blocking you now. Bye." Since then, I've reconnected with friends who all told me they couldn't stand her. My life has been way more stable. I found out later she was posting videos of herself dancing at bars, looking like she finally got her hoe phase. Part of me still wonders if I gave up too fast, but honestly, I think I stayed too long. Am I the asshole?
No.
Oh, am I the jerk? Sorry.
No. No.
No.
Nope.
In no way. Like that, dude.
Oh,
man,
so it's crazy.
You changed so much from middle school to graduation.
And not having any time to do that away from, like, by yourself
Yeah.
is crazy. So I was on her side for a second at the title.
Okay.
Because I understand that, right? Like, she never got the chance to, like...
Yeah.
But what happened was that built up a lot of sexual tension. And I personally
and animosity.
I personally believe the person that she went and experienced that with when they broke up was someone she was already getting ready to do it with.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to start a fight so she could be broken up and go do it. And then hopefully hopefully he would take her back because she'd come back crying.
Yeah.
Okay, so that girl, he dodged a bullet.
And the fact that her parents are rooting for him and are like they know that they're never gonna find another like son-in-law or I mean, because at that point, for knowing that kid for so long, like he's probably like
their kid,
part of their family.
I think did they live together? I think
they lived with the
Lived
parents.
with their parents. Yeah, poor kid.
So that sucks.
But you know what though? He is obviously going to do much, much better, and he's going to be so happy in his next relationship because he knows now what red flags to look for.
Yeah,
yeah,
and to actually listen to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that.
Which is the goal.
Cool.
And that's why time is never wasted in a relationship. You learn.
No, you learn.
You learn.
Mm-hmm, you learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of the comments, 7 years is a long time, but staying longer would have just been wasting more of it.
Agreed.
Man, 7 years from middle school age, that's basically your entire foundation of knowing how relationships work.
Right.
You dodged a bullet there. Someone who cuts you off from friends and family then complains about missing their hoe phase was never really committed in the first place.
Right. That's why I think she was like getting this other guy ready just until she was ready to start a fight and then jump ship.
Someone says, sounds like he needs his bro phase. Agreed. Yep. Spend time with the people who are encouraging and make you feel good.
He's getting
you are who you spend your time with. Spend time with people who you love and who make you want to do better. I don't know. That is such a...
I think I said this in my last podcast. One of the people that I have worked with...
Daniel, right? He was telling you to be more like-minded.
Daniel told me this thing that resonated with me, and he was like... Because he's in, like, a business group, and he was like, people keep telling me, or I don't know how he said it, but basically, like, you need to surround yourself with like-minded people. And if those people, like, in my head, I'm just thinking, okay, that means I need to be around people who want growth and want to move forward and are not complacent, right? But, like, in his case, like, that is just, you need to be hanging out with people who one, understand what you've been through and watched you go through it, but like also are rooting for you to move on.
And that will tell you, be like, hey, dude. I mean, love goggles are a real thing, and
Yeah.
you won't see it, and you won't be ready to leave.
But if
until
you're
you
with someone
know,
from
but-
middle school, they're not gonna tell you. They're not gonna offer that up.
Oh, this one's kind of funny. No one needs a hoe phase, but people do grow a lot in the whole period of time you are together. Literally from puberty through early 20s. 7 years is a long time, but even longer when you're 22-ish. And it's a third of your life. Doesn't matter if it was too long or just enough. Move on and stop second guessing the outcome.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And that's right.
a good way to end.
No one needs a hoe phase.
No.
If you got one, great. You got to experience life and being free and
Like, I don't think I...
you
Yeah.
we talked about that in our
I
last
did have a
episode.
hoe phase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways. All right. The next,
Yeah, I did. Oh,
You
okay.
did. The
I
next.
think everybody knows that I did.
Yeah. All right. The next one is in the subreddit. Am I the asshole?
Okay.
This is kind of shorter.
Real quick, is the AC on?
I'll text Kirby.
I'm dying.
All right. Am I the asshole because I refuse to finish a story if my husband interrupts?
Oh.
So I know this. I know she means like, okay, you interrupted me, and then I'm just gonna be like, never mind. But then
Immediately?
most people
It's
people
gonna be after like the third time.
most people will say, oh, never mind, and then they'll be like, okay, well, let me tell you the rest. You know. All right. That's all I really have to ask. My husband insists on interrupting any story I tell while he is present to either correct me or add to it. Oh, so it's like she's telling someone else the story and he jumps in.
Oh, interjects himself.
The latest example was today. We were visiting his parents for Easter and I was telling them about our plans for vacation this summer. We're going to do a Mediterranean cruise. I was saying how it starts in Rome and he interrupted me to say it was a cruise of the Greek Isles, which it is, and it starts in Rome. So I stopped talking and let him finish the story, which he doesn't know. He doesn't know any of the ports or excursions. Literally all he knows is that the cruise starts and ends in Rome. He kept pressing me to add information. I politely declined. I said he is so anxious to talk about how the cruise started in Rome, he must know about all of it. He's off sulking because his parents think he's an idiot for not knowing anything besides that one tidbit. He said I made I made him look bad, so he's sleeping in his little sister's room. She still has a twin bed. Lucky for him, she is with her fiance's family this weekend. So, am I the asshole for allowing him to finish every story of mine because he chooses to insert himself into whether he knows the subject or not?
So she's asking if she's the asshole because she lets him, or that she doesn't tell him and she continues to let him.
Here's what she's doing. She's posting this for validation.
Because she's picking her battles,
Because
right?
Well, she's posting this for validation, and she's twisting the question to attract bias. So, like, towards her. So, in her favor is what I'm saying. So, am I the asshole for allowing him to finish every story of mine he chooses to insert himself into, whether he knows the subject or not? That question is irrelevant. Are you the asshole? Yes. In my opinion.
I mean, you're allowing him to make a fool of himself continuously?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're the asshole.
Just have the conversation. If you can't have that
Finish the
conversation,
fucking story.
don't be in a relationship.
Don't be a bitch.
Fuck.
You're just being a bitch.
Why do these people do this, man? If you're having an issue with your partner and it's coming down to the fact where you're having to go to Reddit to talk about it, or if you're having
it's already
to post,
kind of late in the game.
you know, like, just have the conversation. If you want to get advice from somebody,
right,
that's one
different.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're saying that you're continuously doing something and you need validation to make sure that that it's okay that you're doing it, no, it's not.
This was not her asking for advice. This was her wanting validation.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's going to get it.
I hope not.
I don't know. I haven't looked at the comments yet. But in my opinion, she wants her husband to look bad.
Is it husband?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
In front
and
of
he's probably
everybody.
done this since they started dating.
One of the things that I've recognized over time, men can be...
Mansplain?
No, simple.
Oh.
Men can be simple. And it's okay. I'm not saying they're dumb, but they
They
lot
just
of
have a
times
different way
they
of
cut to the
thinking.
chase faster than we do, and we evaluate things more. But some men are that way. It just really depends, right?
Mhm.
But a lot of the men that I've come across are a lot more simple than I am in terms of like thinking so deeply about this stuff. So he
Yeah.
probably doesn't even realize he's doing it.
No.
You know, it's
He probably
not
thinks he's helping.
intentional. Yes.
He's probably so excited
Yeah,
that he wants to talk
he's-
about it with them.
this-
I do that.
This man is so excited to go on this cruise with his wife. And she just wants him to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
So let's look at the comments.
Because I definitely do this. And Aaron will tell me every once in a while when I do it. And I'm like, thank you. But like, and I have to explain to him, like, I'm just so excited. And it's a conversation we're having. And I'm more aware and I watch myself when I do it, you know?
I think people just need to get fucking over it.
What?
Just let it go. Like, let the conversation be what it has come to be. Whether or
Yeah.
not you've interrupted me or not. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Just need to talk.
Yeah.
Because if you talk, that means you have something to say.
Yeah.
And I would hate the day where you just stop talking.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
So let them talk.
Let him talk.
Someone says, the resentment is building, I think.
Yeah.
The next person says, does not bode well. 4 horsemen of divorce.
Very true.
Someone said, contempt is the beginning of the end.
Yeah. I mean, the as soon as you start letting any resentment build, that it's over. Because that little bug grows into a massive fucking just infestation.
And
you know,
what
with
it
every
means?
little thing until you have a conversation and say, hey, this is bugging me. Like, we need to fix it.
Mm-hmm. It's behavioral.
Yeah. And how is anybody supposed to know? They're not mind readers.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, men are not mind readers. Women are not mind
No one
readers.
is,
Your partner is your partner. And if you want to be together for life, which, you know, this concept is brought to us since we were, you know, very young, is that you mate with this person and you do it for life, you know, hopefully. If you have plans to do that, 1, you're going to grow. 2, you're going to fucking change while you're growing. And if you're doing that with another person, you're going to have conversations that aren't always comfortable.
Yeah.
You know? Because the literal new versions of yourself happen every fucking day.
Like you're shedding. I think it's all about forgiveness.
Forgiveness,
like,
yeah.
Even like, and forgiveness is like a broad term because it's like, you need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive behaviors. You need to forgive habits. You need to forgive
mistakes,
language. You need like all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And in her case, she's not being forgiving of her husband at all.
No.
And I can imagine that they have much more serious issues in their relationship in which she's on a more extreme level of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone thinks the opposite and says, well done. I hope this tactic works for you, not the asshole. My first thought is, no one needs tactics in a relationship.
No. It's the whole game. It's the whole game
because that's manipulation.
thing.
Your tactic is manipulating.
Dude, some people thrive off manipulation, and I know quite a few, and it's hard to watch, but you just have to accept it because that's apparently who they are. And it's just like, I look at that type of relationship and I'm just like, isn't that tiring? Isn't that fucking tiring?
It's tiring thinking about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
could you imagine? I don't have time for this.
You have your day-to-day and all the shit that goes on. That should be your safe place.
Can't you just be happy?
And to just be so happy to see the person. And, I mean, obviously every day is not going to be perfect. And every day you're not going to be so, oh, my God, I'm so excited to see you. But in a sense, that should be your safe place. It should bring
you comfort when that person comes home from work.
Not having to worry about walking on eggshells of if this is going to break the person or break the relationship.
It's going to make them mad.
Yeah.
Like, this so guy, sad. This guy now has to police every conversation he's in because he's afraid to interrupt his wife.
Yeah. I mean, being more conscious is one thing, but being afraid to interject at that point of being able to have an opinion in a conversation is a completely different one.
And I think it's his stories too.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing something going on together.
Why can't he be a part of telling the story?
Yeah. And, like, Aaron will just sit there and smile when I start interjecting myself because I'm excited.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah,
Cody
we're going
does the same
here.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes Cody will just be like, you tell it.
And that's
like,
where,
okay,
and it goes back and forth like
Yeah.
it's supposed to, 50-50 sometimes,
Right.
40-60, 20-80, all the different percentages.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always going to be even.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that is probably one of the biggest lessons that everybody needs to fucking learn as an adult in a relationship, is that it is not supposed to be 100% every fucking time.
There's
and it's
no
just
way.
unreal to expect that. And the sooner you fucking learn that, the better.
It's not 50. I mean, average, right, is 50-50. We
that's
both
what you
put
aim
in the same
for.
effort, but not
Yeah.
every day.
No, some days you're going to be low and, the other person has to put in a little bit more.
What happens when someone gets sick? Like Cody, my fiance, had a stroke at 33 years old, which we'll talk about. But, like, okay, he had to learn how to talk. He had to learn how to walk. Like, everything. Could he take care of me during that time? No. Did I take care of him? We got him back to normal? Yes.
Yeah.
Mostly. But, there's never going to be a single day where both people can give the same amount of energy.
No, and I'm sure there's going to be a day where you're not going to be able to take care of yourself, and he's going to have
right now.
Yeah.
He can't. He has to drive me everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be driving.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. But, yeah. That's a good moral of the story.
Yeah.
So there's one more.
Long story short.
Yeah, long story short. So there's one more. This one might be a little spicy.
Oh, spicy caliente.
It does already have the tag, not the a-hole. So we
God,
know.
Here we go.
But it's a little crazy.
Oh, it's a new thing. Okay, I thought it was still a part of the thing.
No, read it before you read it out loud. Read it in your head, the title.
What?
Let's see.
Stop right now. I didn't pick this one.
No, I picked this one.
Okay. Oh, wow. This is going to be good. I need a drink. All right. Everybody comfortable? Yes. Okay.
Grab your popcorn.
Grab your popcorn and grab your seats.
You've seen too many movies in the movie theater.
That's my dad.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I the asshole for having sex with a minor?
That's crazy.
Whoa. Okay, what a fucking tagline. Like, holy shit. And there is a tag, speaking of which, not the a-hole.
Yeah, so it's been determined already.
That does not
we'll be the judges of
that
this.
does not compute in my head. All right, let's get into it. Hi, Reddit. And this is a very frustrating and unpleasant situation I found myself in recently. So I am an opera singer and a 28-year-old woman. A few months ago, I worked on a big production in Europe. The production was massive and had over 200 people involved in it, including some actors. One of them was exceptionally handsome, like high fashion kind of handsome. And from day one, he never concealed his attraction towards me. Let's call him Marco. Oh, what a name. We flirted, but I never really thought about hooking up with him, as I was consumed with the show, partially because I was doing the main role. Heyo. After the premiere, there was an after party. And of course, it got dark. And of course, I got intoxicated. So did he. Let's remember, this is Europe, okay? Then it was 5 a.m., and he was stranded in the town without any means to get home at the end of the night.
Oh, no.
Obviously.
My woman in shining armor.
Obviously, it was a ruse to get into my bed. Oh, wait, yeah. Obviously, it was a ruse to get into my bed, and I was tipsy and relaxed, so I played along. I offered him a sofa in my flat, and of course, next thing I know, we were messing in my bedroom.
Oops.
Oopsies. In the morning, well, more likely in the late afternoon. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. Get it, girl. We had the post-sex cuddle, and Marco casually mentions that tomorrow is his birthday. I joke about having given him an early birthday present, to which he laughs and says that it was the best present ever. Then I ask how old he is going to get, and then he drops the bomb. He is going to be 18
tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
Girl.
I panicked and quickly got out of bed.
You gotta
He did
ask that
not
question
look
first.
17 at all, right? I thought he
Damn
was
it.
younger, but I never thought he was 11 years younger than me. I was mad. He looked surprised and said that he is almost a man and that he had many girlfriends, including a 30-year-old when he was 16. That is not okay. That is not okay.
Not even in Europe.
I screamed that I did not care about his other girlfriends and that I am going to be in big trouble. I did not know the laws of that country, so I had all my life flash before my eyes. I begged him to keep his mouth shut, and he swore he would never tell anyone. Oh my. Of course, when I got to the theater the next day, everyone was giving me weird looks.
Oh, no.
By the end of the day, I noticed people laughing at me, and some of my colleagues even asked me really dirty questions. Oh, no.
Dirty?
Oh, no. Not only he bragged about having sex with me to his friends, he also gave them all the details, including the amount of body hair, shape of my breasts, and all the things I did to him in bed. I was a wreck.
Oh, poor girl.
I ran into the cafeteria and was weeping incessantly. Never in my life I felt such shame. Next morning, I was called into the theater director's office. He was very disappointed in me and my lifestyle choices. And he also mentioned that as a prima donna, hate that term.
But it's a real term.
Real term.
Like in
that life, you know.
Theater.
I should have known better and taken better care of my reputation. I thought it was over, but in a few hours I received a phone call from Marco's mother. She was screaming at me, and though I speak Italian, I was struggling to understand everything she said.
Dang.
Apparently, not only I had sex with a 17-year-old, but I also raped him as he was drunk and therefore could not possibly consent to sex with a fat old woman.
Oh, no.
That I was, in his mother's opinion. The poor lady. That's so sad.
Oh, my gosh.
She screamed some more and promised to get the police involved. I was devastated. In my view, my career was over, as well as my reputation. I wished I were dead. His mother also discovered his messages to me and threatened to expose me as a sexual predator and called me a pedophile. My colleagues...
we can't prove with those text messages that he didn't consent because...
That part.
I'm sure what was in there.
My colleagues stood up for me and promised to testify if need be that Marco has been chasing after me since day one and that he has made everything he could to stay at my place that fateful night. Just when I thought my life was over, it turned out that Marco's mother tried to blackmail the theater director into firing me into firing me or raising her son's salary.
Oh, wow.
Wild. The director went furious and threatened her with exposure, so she backed off. All this situation was quite horrible for me, and I am glad I am unscathed by the experience, although there must be a stain on my reputation. But as the time passes by and I recover, I cannot help but wonder, what if I am a predator? What if I scared that poor boy? What if I raped him? As he was clearly drunk and I am a grown-ass woman and whatnot, the very thought of it horrifies me, as I am a rape survivor myself.
Oh, my God.
No. And I pray I haven't hurt this young man. What do you think, guys?
Oh, my God.
I am so confused and genuinely upset. Sorry for the long read.
Okay, first and foremost, not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. By the time they were doing it, it was probably after midnight. He was probably 18. Oh, no, it was it was the next day. He was turning 18. Okay, he was turning 18 the next day.
But, at midnight.
In Europe, okay.
Did you look up the age?
So, the age of consent in Italy, which is what I'm assuming where they are, because she said, is 18.
Oh, okay.
But which is good. But in almost every other European country, it's 14, 15, or 16. So
which is how fucking
14,
young.
15, 16 is way too young.
That's way too young.
A 17-year-old who turns 18 tomorrow.
And she even stated she did not know the laws.
He manipulated her.
Yeah.
And we only have one
And
side.
Obviously it was on purpose. He went and told all of his friends.
We only have one side of the story. But he remembered everything. He told everybody what happened in detail.
Yeah.
You know, he wanted it to happen. She didn't clearly know how old he was. He omitted that on purpose. Otherwise, she wouldn't have done it. I mean, if it was here in the United States.
And he's had other girlfriends, a
right,
30-year-old.
Yeah, okay, buddy, sit your ass
But, like,
down.
how horrible that must feel, like, because she is a survivor.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's
hard. Man.
I don't think she's the asshole. I do think she's naive. But and ignorant to assume, especially in Europe. Some of the guys in Europe don't look their age. Same with the women.
Oh, are
there comments supporting?
Kind of, yeah. But she's being hard on herself.
Yeah, of course.
He said, not the asshole. This is the first comment on there. He intentionally withheld the fact he was underage. Between that and kissing and telling, this guy is shaping up to be a real douche. She replied and said, I am lucky he was not 16. The fact that he withheld the fact means absolutely nothing.
I guess.
And people up that. That's...
Because they understand how she feels. Like, they know she's... Because, like, right, those
like,
points,
they up that because they think she's correct? I mean, she is,
so
but
that doesn't necessarily mean what an upvote is. An upvote is just, like...
Support?
We support your comment.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't mean you're right or wrong. A down vote means we don't support your comment.
That guy, the name was also Helicopter Penis Hoover.
Yeah.
Okay. He said... He replied back to her after saying that. It did for me. Saved my butt when I met a woman in a bar. Found out she was barely 17. I was 24 at the time. Parents got police involved. I was off the hook. Attorneys agreed that I shouldn't have had to ask age, given where I was.
You were in a bar.
I'd imagine the same argument would work for you unless he was playing the part of a younger man in the play. Otherwise, how were you to know someone working full-time and carrying on like any other adult was underage?
Wow, good point.
Yeah.
Also, he should sue that bar.
Yeah. There's a good legal argument. It's the bar's duty to make sure clients legally, so it's a reasonable explanation. Client there.
Right, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. Wow.
And somebody replied, there's a good legal argument. And this person said, it's actually not. Your success with this argument may vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, but generally it's going to depend quite a lot on the attitudes of the prosecuting attorney. In many jurisdictions, it doesn't matter if you knowingly commit statutory rape or not. The fact that you had sex with a minor can usually be enough to charge and convict. In legal terms, it's known as strict liability crime.
So check IDs, people.
People are giving her a lot of not the asshole. Well, she got the badge, so.
Yeah, she's definitely not the asshole.
No.
Is she ignorant of the fact that this could have been a possibility? Yeah. You should check.
Yeah.
You should know.
I mean, did she learn a lesson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very valuable lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now everybody else has learned the lesson, too, that she works with, because now they know.
Somebody said on here, not the asshole. I had the same thing happen. Girl told me she was 18. Afterwards, she says she's not actually 18, but my birthday's on the 25th. Then she says she's emancipated and married. No idea how much of that is true. Reported her to Tinder and got banned. Crazy bitches come in all genders. Sorry that happened to you. And she replies, you can report people for that? You have to be 18 to be on Tinder. What the fuck?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
This person got a tag Supreme Court just ass. I'm going to say not the asshole. ESH, what does that mean?
ESH?
Yeah, /ESH. I don't know what that means. If you were anywhere other than the Vatican City or Turkey, the guy is not considered a minor. I'm going with YTA for equality's sake. Where the gender's reversed, you would surely be screwed. I don't think you intended to do anything wrong. It was an honest mistake, and while he sounds like a douche, the fault is still on you.
That person thinks she's the asshole. You're the asshole. YTA.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Genders were reversed. See, that's another conversation. So anyways,
wow.
What's the moral of the story?
So long story short, check the ID, ask for their age in the beginning of everything. I mean, just assume that they are younger than you, right?
My camera died.
just assume you're not the same age, and there's never a stupid question.
Yeah.
Right, especially with sex. Always.
Check IDs, motherfucker.
Check IDs.
No, listen. If you are old enough to have sex, you are old enough to find out how old the other person is.
Yeah. But I mean, in situations where, like the guy said, where you're working a full-time job and he's not playing a role of a younger person, you automatically assume. But assumptions
don't hold up in court.
And what do? They make an ass out of you and me. So don't assume.
What's that from?
Oh, you've never heard that?
I have. I just can't remember what it's from.
That's just a saying.
Oh.
Assuming makes an ass out of you and me. Assume.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.